Big up yourself. All of the You Choose Massive on the You Choose crew. Want to make sure everybody is doing fine. Make sure you're feeling good enough. This is the Positive Forces Show. Always giving you more, sending you positive vibes.
To change your lives.
I'm your host, Kimone Hall.
And I'm your co-host, Yola, Yoli.
Hey, in the house, Yola, Yoli. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good, good.
Yeah,
All right,
I
all
can't
right.
complain. How are you, Kimmy
I
Kim?
am doing well. Thank you. I'm doing
Awesome.
well. Life be lifing.
Always.
But I'm doing so well. Want to say welcome to the YouTube's family, Viscosity Blend, Zion Highness Radio, Reggae Global Radio, Ascension Radio. Family, we just want to love on you today. We're going to be talking about coping with breakups with our relationship segment. So just want you to keep it locked with us here on the Positive Forces Show. Tell me about your week.
Wait. When were we hit with the Helene?
So Helen occurred maybe about 2 weeks ago,
No, no,
wasn't it?
no. I think it was last week Friday.
Nah, it wasn't that.
Last week
Maybe it was.
Thursday.
About
Last
2 weeks.
week Thursday, Friday. Yeah.
Was it two
So
weeks?
this week,
All right.
so this week
Feels like
I was because I was off on Thursday and Friday, and or at least work from home.
Mhm.
And then Monday came. I had the Monday fridge dilemma because I got a new fridge, and then the rest of the week was just kind of flying by. One of those weeks that just kind of flew by, and before I knew it, I was here on the Positive Forces show,
It
always
was.
bringing you positive vibes to change your life. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it was.
that was my
It was
week.
short. The weeks are short.
Yeah,
The days are short. Feels like the weekends need to be a bit longer.
yeah. I've always felt that we should have 3 or 4 day weekends.
Man, what y'all think about that? I
I
would
love
love
it.
that. I would love that.
Yeah.
Let's.
I don't care if you pick Friday or Monday, but it should be part of your weekend. I would pick Monday. What would you pick?
Uh, It'd be nice to be off. I guess Monday would be a little bit slower, so I'll be able to probably do more on a Monday. Being off on a Friday is going to be the mad rush for the weekend. So I think being off on a Monday, I'll be able to be more productive and getting things done. That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm okay with being off on Friday because on Friday I really do like interacting and stuff with my coworkers that I work with. So I'm fine working on Fridays. Mondays are usually Monday blues for me.
Wow. Okay.
So on Mondays I'd prefer
Oh,
on a Monday.
Monday blues?
Yes,
Oh
ma'am.
my God, that's not good.
No, it's not.
You want to start out with prayer?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Father God, thank you so much for us. Thank you so much for you. Thank you for always being there for us. Thank you, Lord, for guiding us even when we don't know it. Remind us, Lord, that you are in control and that you have everything under control, and we really don't have to worry. But also, Lord, when we do worry, we know that you are there for us. Continue to be there for us in all our little worry pockets. And remind us, Lord, all the time that you are always there. I pray that we remember this and we live this and we strive to trust you more and more every day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. So if you haven't gotten your prayer in, you got it in today. You got it in today. All right. Do you have a Yoli's thoughts of the day?
Yeah, you know what? It's short and sweet today.
All right.
Just take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys feel like your body aches,
Mm-hmm.
listen to your body.
Mm.
Listen to your body, listen to yourself. If you find that you're overly worrying or overly obsessing about something,
Mm-hmm.
take some time and try to figure out where that came from, or at least stop and recognize that you're doing it and ask yourself, what is this about? And do I really need to do this? And then pray about it.
Mm.
So, my Yoli's thought for this day is to listen to yourself. Listen to your body, listen to your mind, be aware of what's going through your body, be aware of what's going on in your mind, be aware of yourself, self-awareness.
Mm.
And then just pay attention to that and do something about it.
Mm.
That's it. Short and sweet.
Pay attention.
I don't think we do enough of that.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that men do it more than women.
Really?
Yeah, because men don't like to go to doctors.
True.
Men don't like to Women,
But do they pay attention to themselves? They feel it and they won't do anything about it. But it's
yeah,
they like to be able to identify what they're going through,
yeah,
but not
maybe,
necessarily
but they
do
won't do
anything.
anything about it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a twofold thing. My thought today is, be aware of yourself, but
Mhm.
also do something about it.
Mm,
Pay attention to what your body is feeling. Pay
yeah.
attention to how you're feeling.
Mhm.
If you have some aches or pains, pay attention to that. Stop, slow down, get some rest.
Mm,
You know?
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
How
Hmm.
are you feeling, guys? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? How
Tell
you
us how
feeling?
you feel.
Are y'all stressed? Are y'all doing good? I am. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I got a lot on my plate, but I can identify that. Is there some stress there? It could possibly be, but but I do have a focus. Do have a plan. Do have my goal. So regardless of how you feel, make sure you're able to identify it and work through it. All right, work through it, guys. Working through it. All right. All right, all right, all right. All right, good deal, good deal, good deal. All right, so we're going to talk about coping with breakups. And we know that, oh my gosh, breakups, relationships, we know that those things, their relationships are very tough, but they're fun, they're nice, they're a necessary part of our lives, whether it be a relationship with family, relationship with friends. But we're going to zone in on a relationship with our loved ones or partner or spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend situation. All right. So we're going to talk about coping with that. It's always blissful when we start out. Everything is nice. We have the honeymoon phases. We have different phases within the relationship. But when things start to go sour, when things have gone sour, when you've done all you can, now we're at the point where I think it's time. And I think, according to research, it says that women file divorce more than men. So we're going to be talking about how to cope with breakups today. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show. Go ahead and you could give us a call today at 404-916-5138. Or you can go ahead and chime in if you're live with us on social media. Go ahead and let us know who you are, where you're calling from, and what is your relationship, or what has happened. What's your situation with coping with breakups? What did you do? All right. So, what do you think? What do you think about relationships and the breaking up process? I think it's hard, but unless you want to get out of it. Now, some relationships you're just like, yo, I'm ready, and you don't really need to cope, right? You just like you were coping throughout the relationship, like trying to manage yourself and decide how the heck I'm gonna get up out of this mess, right? So you have that, and you're coping, and you're going day by day, and you're strategizing, and you're making your way to be out for your exit. And then you have some that are like, oh my God, we're so in love, or we were in love. Can we fix this? And does it really have to end, right? So that's what we want to talk. Let's talk about. What you think? What's your thoughts?
So, people that are done in relationship
Yeah.
really don't have or need any coping mechanisms
Mm-mm.
because you're done.
Done.
And I think most people in that situation are ready for it to be over,
Mhm.
and they have most likely made a plan or an exit strategy
Mhm.
so that when it's over, they still land on their not financially, but emotionally,
Mhm.
because you're done and you've already gone through all of that painful parts of a breakup.
Mhm.
Now, for the other people that get broken up, the
Mhm.
person breaks up with you,
Mhm.
um, it's hard to cope with that because I feel like you feel like it's like you could feel like that person has abandoned you. You can feel as though the person doesn't love you anymore, and those are all painful things.
Mhm.
So to cope with those feelings, one thing that I would suggest is to fill yourself with things to do.
Mhm.
You know, because I think some people in relationships, when they get into relationships, you tend to kind of forget who you are, and you kind of form these things that you do together,
Mhm.
and you kind of let go of some of the things that you used to do when you were when a couple. So re-get into that, the things you used to like to do, and just kind of keep yourself busy.
Mhm.
Keep yourself busy with friends, keep yourself busy with family, keep yourself busy with rediscovering yourself, taking that deep dive into, what part that I play in the breakup.
Mhm.
It's a good time to work on whatever baggage that you have now taken with you from the breakup.
Yeah.
So that would be my suggestion, is to keep busy. Keep
Mhm.
busy any way that you can. I,
Mhm.
I know that some people keep busy by jumping into other relationships and maybe having a one night stand here or two. I don't recommend that.
Mhm.
I think it leaves you feeling empty and unfulfilled,
Mhm.
and it's not really what you need. What you really need is some way to evaluate what happened and get centered back onto yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's one of the things I would say,
All right.
is
Good.
keep busy.
Okay. So keep busy, and you mentioned self care because that was actually in your in your intro and your Yoli's thought, right? So self care. So self care would be one. Hobbies. Pick up a hobby if you don't have one. Doing exercises. Doing things that you like, right? So to just not think of the the baggage or the trauma or the bad breakup. So start doing self-care, like you said. Do the exercises, grab a hobby, and if you don't have a hobby of your own, just start to evaluate what are some of the things that I really like to do. What is something that I always wanted to try, and then go ahead and pick that up and maybe try it with somebody. Try it with a friend. Do it with a friend. If you want to walk 10 miles or you want to do a marathon, and you go ahead and start doing that, occupying your mind, occupying yourself, so that you can become better in yourself. Okay, so that's one way of coping with breakup. Okay.
I think in the times when you're by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
a good thing, which kind of does go back to self care again.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, come on, picking up a hobby, something that you've never done, you can take up reading.
Mm-hmm.
People might not understand, but if you can get a good book that you like, it kind of transports you to somewhere else where you're not concentrating and thinking about the breakup.
Mm.
And so it's a good stress reliever, especially you can find some type of book that you like to read. And there's
Mm.
all sorts of genres of books that you can read.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for the time when you're by yourself, because there's going to be times when you can't fill yourself with the busy things that involve other people.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to now figure out, what am I going to do when I'm not around people?
Right.
How am I going to cope when I'm not around people? Reading, picking up a hobby, maybe learn how to crochet, something that, kind of keeps your mind off of
Right.
it.
Okay.
And don't watch rom coms.
How about reflecting, coping with it, reflecting on a relationship, going back and saying, hey, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? What did I tolerate that I wasn't supposed to tolerate? Where did I what was my part in this? Because we tend to feel like it's always the other person and we did nothing wrong. And sometimes it might be a case where you didn't do anything wrong, but sometimes you have to look into it and be like, okay, let me evaluate this from the beginning. Go back to the root cause. Now, sometimes you can allow things to occur and then they can fester and build. And once you build something, now you have to now work and live with this, right? So if you allow something once sometimes and you don't say anything, ladies, if a lady is getting abused, right? Let's say, all right, I always go drastic, right?
Yeah,
If the
you always
lady,
do.
if the lady's getting
She's the
abused,
drastic
I
one.
always go drastic. So ladies getting abused, she got hit the first time. Okay, and she's just like, I can't believe this. We're gonna let's separate. That's probably she probably wants to call the police, and then the man would say, "Baby, I'm sorry." All right. Then the woman now goes into this: Can I afford? How are my finances? Can I afford this on my own? And give it into all these different situations, and then stay. So now the woman stays in this relationship. The man says, I'm sorry. And then something happens. He gets triggered. Boom. The woman gets slapped again. Or sometimes the woman is the abuser in the relationship and the man gets slapped again. Right. So when that happens, you have created a tolerance and you didn't even know it. So now things are starting to build up, and as you go, you feel like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna forgive this person. And as you go, things start to build. So sometimes we play a part. You know, and man and woman, and we say that we didn't do anything, but sometimes there are things that is done, unless that person is just really, really off and created a mess in the relationship.
Yes. I kind of said that in my busy part, but to more talk about that
Yeah.
and specific to Kimone's situation, I think it takes a lot over time where you're isolating that person that you're abusing, whether it's male or female. You know, there's this process that takes place and being able to abuse someone in that way where they feel like they can't get out. And as we know, there's all different types of abuse. It doesn't have to be physical, it could be mental, it could be emotional. And they are as bad because it's all abuse.
Yeah.
But it's this process that takes place on the abuser's part to the person that's being abused. And so once you break up, it's important to do self-evaluation. I don't think that you should so much be focused on what the other person did or didn't do, because in everything there's two sides, right? You always hear this,
Right.
there's
Right.
his side, there's your side,
And
and
the
there's the
truth.
truth, right? So it's always, and if you're living like a God-focused life, it's always better, in my opinion, to not focus on the other person, but to focus on what you did so that you can work on what part you played. Whether it was you were an enabler, whether it was you gave up on your friends and family and just completely and totally wrapped yourself around this person, or whether it was you, whatever it is, there's a plethora of reasons, right? But it's always more important to see what you did, and the reason it's even more important is because you cannot control the other person's actions.
Right.
You can only control your actions. In the heat of the moment, you can't really control anything. It takes a lot of strength to be able to react or not react when someone's coming at you.
Yeah.
Right. Even in a simple argument, we like to play this tit for tat thing. And so, therefore, once the breakup is done, part of that process is looking to see what you did. That's the whole point of self-evaluation during the breakup time. You need to see, what role did you play? How was I, for example, how was I a target? What did I attract? What did I manifest? What did I do? Journey, you should also get a professional to help you through it. Because you don't self, but it's important to know that it takes two people.
Yeah.
Why did you make it in this? Why did you let, which might be harsh, a situation where you cannot get up and get out because everything is so, what made you decide to give up all of your, relinquish all of your power? Yeah.
Yeah. For real.
So
And
it's important to do that because you cannot control the person, but you can control yourself. Even in the heat of an argument with lots of practice, you can control yourself.
Yeah, but you have to want to.
You have to want to. And I actually think you have to
self-control.
pray too, a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
The biggest person that had self-control was Jesus. All the stuff he went through, he could have done all sorts of stuff. He didn't do any of it. But that takes a lot.
Yeah. It's practice. It's practice, like you said. But it can be done and it's doable. And you ask God, hey God, give me, Lord, I need patience. You're gonna get tribulation, right? So don't pray for patience unless you want that tribulation behind it. Or it the therapy, as you mentioned, is also another coping skill for breaking up. And we know that therapy works. We think that therapy and prayer works together for sure. I know I certainly think that. And finding someone, a source that you can go to and just be able to be free and be yourself. Men handle situations of breakup much different from females, where a woman would be able to say, hey, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to talk. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to talk. But a man might say, no, it's a taboo for a man to go and speak to a friend, or you're not being a real man. Why is it that you're talking about your emotions? Man, suck it up, move on, go find another girl, right? And but a woman, we are more in tune with ourselves. We want to now get into the emotional aspect of it, and talk it through and figure out the process, and so that we don't possibly not make it happen again. But men, they tend to not want to talk to others. So if they don't get to talk to others and they now exit that relationship and then go into a new relationship, obviously they're carrying that continuous baggage without even dealing with it at all from the surface. I want to say hi to Claudette Bromfield.
My partner.
How you doing, Claudette? Doing well, doing well.
And shout out to my friend Tam Jacobs. Thank you for listening to the Positive Forces show.
Hey, Tam. All right, yeah. So, even though men are the ones that typically don't try to get help, men now though are more going to therapy. The taboo is now being dropped in our society. Black men, white men are now saying, hey, I'm okay with going to talk to somebody because I want to fix my trauma. I want to fix the things that I dealt with. I actually want to get to know me a little bit more. And that's what therapy does. Therapy helps you to dig into your childhood and figure out, why is it that I'm acting this way today? Right?
Yeah. I was going to say that I think that the culture we have now, society now, men are more getting help, seeking help. And I think that they also talk to their friends. I actually think that men do talk to their friends, like their one close friend or their one close church member. They'll talk to them. I actually think that. But I think that men now are moving towards getting help that they need to cope with their trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't always that way.
No, changing,
I don't
and which
think
is
so.
good.
But
Kudos
change
to
is
the men
coming.
out there. See, guys, we don't be bashing y'all. Kudos out to the men that be out there and
No,
trying to
we
get
love you
themselves
guys.
together and trying to work through the stuff that they go through. Because we know men, y'all have it hard. We tend to think that women, we're supposed to just get everything, and the plate does, the man does set the table, and the man does, you guys are the one that have it. So kudos out to you, brothers. We love you on the show, and we want to say we appreciate you. We want to say that we love you. We care about you. We thank you. We're thankful for the good men that are out there that are taking care of their family, taking care of their children. Keep doing what you're doing, man. It's not going unnoticed. The kids are seeing you. Your kids are seeing you, man. The kids are seeing you. And what the good things that you're doing, the kids are going to emulate. The bad things that you're doing, they're going to do it too. So make sure whatever you're doing in front of your kids, you want them to be able to replicate that. All right. So kudos to the men out there that are taking responsibility for themselves, responsibility of themselves, learning more about themselves so they can be better for that next person. All right. Kudos.
Yep. We had some comments
When
you posted our topic today.
Right.
So Cassandra Boyd Odom, shout out to Cassandra. That's my friend
Odom.
Cassandra. We used to
Shout
work
out
together.
to you. All right.
She said, I've always appreciated this idea. At the end of a breakup, can you say you've left the person in a better position than when you found them? This perspective may give one person peace in their decision and the other person hope as they move forward. It's nice.
That's too nice, Cassandra.
I like it, Cassandra. I think it's very nice. And I think we all would like to think that when we leave a relationship. If you leave a relationship amicably, because I think some people can actually do that.
Yeah.
When you both have really good communication, you can talk to each other and you decide, you know what, this is not working. We're not going to keep trying.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay, right? Yeah. So,
but you know what though, with that comment, Cassandra, sometimes the women will probably tend to see, oh, what did I get out of the relationship? What stuff did I get? You know, and not looking into the emotional part of it. So yeah. But if you can leave something great within that person, that a good lesson, I think that is good. But you know, sometimes you don't think, you don't care. You're just like, whatever, I'm out.
yeah, I kind of feel like we should strive to that.
Yeah, and they're gonna use what you taught them. They're gonna use what you taught them in their next relationship.
Yeah.
So they'll be better for the next person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comment from Ben Patterson.
Hey Ben.
Shout out to Ben.
How you doing?
It is never easy on any level, so I will only speak from my experience. I have always conditioned myself to accept the unforeseeable reality. What if we break up? If at that moment you cannot handle that thought, don't take the journey. Interesting. I've never gone into something with that question is, what if we break up?
Yeah.
I think I always go in with the rose-colored glasses. I'm not thinking about if we're going to break up.
Well, it's a reality though, especially when you've gone through relationships and they just don't work, and you're wondering. But I think the best way is to not think about it. But it can creep up in your mind. It will come in your head like, you know, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing what he wants? Am I doing this? But guys, be yourself as much as you can be. Be yourself and make sure that that person gets to know you, because for the first 3 months, 6 months, even a year, everything might be fine if you're doing everything that that person wants, but then you're forgetting about yourself. When you neglect yourself, eventually it's going to become a problem and it's going to blow up. Now this man is going to say, hey, why didn't you tell me this before? Or the woman might say, I didn't know that you felt that way, right? Because you've been hiding yourself into that other person's wants and into their needs, neglecting your own self. So when you neglect yourself, it can blow up with you, you know, in the future. So
yeah, I wonder if anyone has ever gone into a relationship besides Mr. Patterson asking that question, what if we break up? And then decide, you know what? I can't handle if we break up, so I'm just not going to do this. I guess. Interesting thought.
Yeah, and then that's how you get like people that become like dangerous.
Or people that never get into a relationship. Because what if your answer is always, if we break up?
Then
what if we break up?
Yeah, you won't do that.
What if we break up? What if it doesn't work?
Yeah, you can't come
and then you decide, oh, well, I'm not going to do this because we might break up. Yeah, you might break up, but then you might have some happy times. Yeah, you might break up, but it might be worth it. Yeah, you might break up, but you might learn something. Yeah, you might break up, but that person that you're in a relationship might be, you might meet the person that you're supposed to be with after that person, and there's something that you're supposed to learn from that relationship at that time. So, yeah, it's a good thought though. I like it.
Yeah,
I kind of think that at least you're not wanting to try to be in a relationship though. Just my perspective.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be afraid to be in a relationship because you're afraid that you would break up. You know, so you're not really giving it a chance.
And or you meet people and don't take it to another level where it becomes serious.
Yeah, because we might break up. You might date and hang out and everything and just never make it serious because we might break up.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We have a comment from Reginald Lewis Sr. Everybody takes a loss, including the kids. If there's kids involved, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dr. Jackie Edwards. Shout out to Dr. Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
She said, like Nike.
Like Nike, just do it.
Just do it.
All right, just do it. Just jump in, try it. You never know, right?
It might work.
Might be something that you enjoy.
It might be where you're supposed to be.
Might be where you're supposed to be.
That might be the one.
Yeah, guys, relationships are tough, and if you, but there is I think there's a right person for everybody somewhere.
Yeah,
and you can try to make somebody right for you, but if you're not that person, that's when I would say, is this worth it? That's when I would interject like what Ben had said and said, you know, do I want to do this? if you see some flags or you see some things that we might not be compatible, then yeah, fine. But other than that, just do it. Jump in, have fun, take your time, and see where it goes. I agree.
I want to give a shout out to my friend Stephen Hill. Shout out to you, Stephen.
What's going
Thanks for
on,
checking in to the
Steven?
Positive Forces show.
Steven, we're talking about coping with breakups. If you have a scenario, if you have a strategy that you've done, call it 404-916-5138. It's posted
Chop,
404
chop, chop.
916 5138 for our You Choose listeners. Again, big up yourselves. Viscosity Blend, Zion Highness Radio, Reggae Global Radio, Ascension Radio. Guys, we want to say thank you for always carrying our show each and every week. And we are looking for sponsors. So if you have a nonprofit, you have a for-profit, you have a business, you do hair, whatever it is, and you wanted to advertise with us, let us know. Give us a call in the week. Give them a listen. All you got to do is just put it out there, send me a DM, and we'll talk, and we will be able to advertise your business for you. All right. And we'll give you all the figures and everything else. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Looking forward to talking with you very, very soon. All right. For those that are just joining in, coping with breakups is what we're talking about. And we talked about therapy. Therapy is one way to cope with breakup. We said, self-care was another. And, you know, talking to a trusted adult, talking to somebody that you are comfortable with, making sure you get some emotional support because that's actually very, 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 very needed. All right. All right. How about avoiding impulsive decisions?
Actually, I was going to say
Yeah.
avoid the person at all costs. I'm not sure if
Well,
that
that's one
works, if
too.
it's
That's
feasible,
one too.
but avoid,
That's one
avoid,
too.
avoid, avoid, because all it does is bring back all those memories that you
Mhm.
really don't need at that time. So avoid that, and also friends. What you do with your joint friends?
Mm.
Yeah,
Then they have to decide who they want to be with. Eventually, that doesn't last very long either
no,
because they're going to side with somebody.
yeah,
Even if it was his friend first and then your friend after, it doesn't matter. They're going to eventually side. Or the relationship might just start to dwindle.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Or you can just say, well, he was really on your friend's side,
mm-hmm,
and so
mm-hmm.
bye bye.
Just drop it by. It was
Yeah.
nice when it lasted.
Yes.
But avoiding that person is definitely the right thing. Don't let them text you at 11 o'clock at night. Don't let them try to get back in.
Talking about what you doing.
Well, what YWD? YWDs.
And you
Yeah.
said some other
So
things.
avoiding impulsive decisions,
Yes.
like at that time when you're going through that breakup, and your mind is just like you're not really you're stable, and some people are like, well, I can still make decisions. I know what I'm doing. Yes, you know what you're doing to a level, but you know what you're doing at that moment in that area of your time during that breakup. When you're making big decisions after you've settled your emotions, settled your feelings, and you're just like, you know what, I'm over that. Now you have clarity. Your emotions are more stable. Now you're coming back and you're like, wait a minute, I purchased this or I did this, and why did I do that? It was because of impulse. It was because of sometimes we buy things even when you go shopping. If you're feeling down for the week, you're just like, you know what, I deserve to go out and buy something good for myself. I got paid, I'm gonna do it. Impulsive shopping. And when you go home, you're like, I didn't really need this. Why did I even buy it? Right. So it's the same thing that occurs when you're in a relationship and you're now out of it. You do things, you make decisions because of how you're feeling at that time, not weighing out how things are going to be different when you exit the relationship.
Yes, I agree. Avoid making impulsive decisions.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the breakup of a relationship is like a death.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It is like a death.
And so it's like when someone close to you dies,
Mm-hmm.
um, you tend to be very vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
in that sadness. And you tend to make impulsive decisions like, hooking up with somebody you shouldn't hook up with,
Right.
or going and spending too much money that you shouldn't,
Mm-hmm.
blowing your emergency fund when you shouldn't. And so it's important, I agree, Kimone,
Mm-hmm.
to be aware that you might make some impulsive decisions because you're vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
and to
Mm-hmm.
just be aware of that and not do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's easy.
So, going to hook up with the stranger is not a coping mechanism for the breakup of your relationship.
Or a friend with benefits.
Yeah, that's
Same.
not a coping mechanism. Or blowing your emergency fund is not a coping mechanism because
Mhm.
your car might break down 2 days later, and now you spent your emergency fund on a new wardrobe that you really didn't need.
Yeah,
So yes,
yeah, yeah. So
good
when you,
point.
yeah, so you do that and you regret it, and you might think it's the best for you now, but somebody I heard, I saw on social media, somebody was saying, oh, all of y'all ladies out there talking about heal yourselves and get your social emotional skills together, but when you even got into a particular relationship, you never had your emotions intact. You came in with all that baggage anyway. So stop saying not to do it. Stop saying not to jump into something and get yourself right. But I think that's that's a point of view, but I don't think that point of view is necessarily the right way, in my opinion. Why? Because everybody's going to go through something, period, right? No matter if you go to therapy today, you go to therapy for a year, there's always still something somewhere lingering that has to be addressed. And you can go to therapy and fix one thing, and then somebody does something and triggers something else. And you're like, whoa, where did that come from? I didn't even know that was in me, right? So, yes, we're always fixing ourselves, but if you know that there's something that you got to fix it as it comes. Fix it as it comes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Fix it
why
as
I
it
always
comes.
say don't come in with baggage.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
that baggage fixed.
Yeah. Yeah, fix it as it comes. And think about it. How you said it's like death, and we know death have so many different stages. You know, treat it like it is, because you want to be able to, you want to be healthy, y'all. You want to be healthy. You want to have fun. You want to be able to enjoy your relationship. You want to say, man, we've been together for 25 years, right? If longevity is your goal, right? So we know that sometimes, when you're coping with a breakup, sometimes you can get numb. Sometimes you can withdraw from your friends. Sometimes you don't want to do any activities, the things that you love to do. So now you have to go through and meddle through all of that. And take the time, though. It is good to take the time. Try to be mindful of the present. Try to think about, wait a minute, how am I feeling right now? And identify it. Write it down, journal it if you have to. Even if you can't make that step to actually go ahead and do that activity. You want to, but you just don't feel like it. At least identify, hey, I'm going through this, but don't stay in it. Don't stay in it for very long. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think taking time, like you were saying, is a good coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Take time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're gonna go through the confusion. You're gonna, especially if it's something you're like, wait, everything was
Especially if
going
you got
great.
broken. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
everything
you
was
got
going
broken into.
fine.
Yeah.
Like,
What happened? Yeah.
and some people will stay into something, a relationship. Men will do it. Women will do it. They stay into a relationship until they find better, right? And the person on the receiving end is like, I didn't even see this coming. But a lot of times you can, if you're mindful, if you're in tune, if you're communicating, if you have a strong bond, you should be able to identify something. Because a lot of times we see it and we ignore it. And then when we ignore it and then it blows up, we're like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
But
Where'd that come from?
it was there, it was festering, and you didn't want to believe it. Nothing just happens overnight. Somebody cheating doesn't just happen just like that. It's in the mind. Maybe you're not getting what you want at home. So you're like, wait a minute, I wonder what it would be like. Right? So it starts to fester in the mind and the heart. It's building up. And when that right person you think comes along and you're able to do that, then boom, because it's already been in your mind. It takes a lot for you to be able to just go ahead and do something. If you said, oh, well, it was just in the moment, I was impulsive, you still have to stir up all of that to be able to do it. Even though men say it doesn't take all. I just have to see. You still have a conscience and you still know what's right from wrong. And you still have to say, forget it, or you say something and you're just like, whatever, I'm going to do it anyway. So you still have to fight something, whether it was a long fight, a short fight, but you still had to go against conscience and you're right. And you know what's right from wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta, there's no way you just get up and do something. It's these things are in us from before.
They start with thoughts.
Yeah, they're here, and once they're here, they become here. They become here. They come into action, and you're like, what happened, right? So identify the things that you're going through. Be mindful of how you feel. You know, how do you feel when you're with your man, with your woman? Is this something that I want to continue, right?
Mhm. Yeah, and be able to communicate that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. DJ Smiles, pick up yourself. All right. Yeah. All right. On the top of the hour, we are almost at the top of the hour.
No.
Well, no, we're not there yet.
Okay, good.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet, but we're almost there. All right, guys. Anybody have anything? Any comments about what they've done? Because, guys, I know some people are going through, and in this society, even now in 2024, people are just like, I don't care, and I'll just go on to the next man, or I'll just go on to the next girl. But please take some time to slow down and think and wonder, is this what I want? Am I getting what I want? Am I being who I want for the person? If we take introspection of ourselves, when you are single, now you're in your single spot, right? You're no longer in a relationship, you're broken up. Think about it. What is it that I need to do for the next person? How is it that I'm going to act? The things that I did I do them all right? Was I all right? If you know you did your 100, there's still always something you could have worked on. So figure that out. But make that be a conversation between you and the next person so that you can know you're now doing what that person would like and not doing from experience from other people, because everybody's requirements, everybody is different. Everybody wants something different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, agreed.
Okay. Well, accept it, move on, reflect, be mindful. Don't ruminate on things. You'll keep replaying things in your mind, memories, events. Oh my God, I remember when we went on this cruise, and no, it's done. It's over. It's over. Unless you know that there's an opportunity for you to go back and this person wants you back as well. If not, if you only want them back and they're taking you back because you want them, that's not going to last very long. They're going to end up cheating on you, leaving you, and that's just how it is. I think. What you think, Yola?
Oh no.
You go back. A lot of times people go back and
Some
it
people go
doesn't
back
work out.
and it actually works.
And then when it works, you're just like, well, but make sure
But I
you
think,
know.
yeah, I think it's
worth it.
important that you identify why it didn't work in the first place.
Yeah.
And if you do want to try again, there's nothing wrong with that. Try again.
Mm-hmm.
But once you see the thing that makes you break up in the first place, second place, third place, fourth place, get out.
Man, that's too much.
Well, some people get lots of chances.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, second time, sure.
Anything that happens after the first time, we should accept it.
Okay.
Yeah. You allow it to happen. Twice. Nah. Oh, okay, 2 times. Okay, I'm gonna forgive you once. 2, 3 times? No. That's a recipe for disaster. If that person doesn't want to change, they're just not gonna change. They might change for 2 weeks. They might change for a month. And the pattern's gonna start showing up again. That's a lot of frustration and stress. Mm-hmm. And we put a lot of stress and frustration on ourselves sometimes because we just want to be in a relationship. Mm. Nope, some people don't like to be single. Nah, I can't be single. I gotta have somebody. All right, if you gotta have somebody, make sure you know what you're doing and take all that stress and anxiety and everything else that comes with it. Period. Yeah. So those are the stages, guys. Those are the steps. Those are some things you can do. Final thought.
Yeah, final thought. This week, let's try to make some lasting relationships. You know, Be kind to one another. Relationships that you already have, check in with those people. Make sure they're still alive. Let them know what you're thinking about them. And just let's work on nurturing our existing relationships.
Mm,
That's my final thought because we all need each other.
okay. All right. That's good.
Yeah.
Process every experience that you have, everything that you go through, everything you might have said, everything that you didn't say. Figure out why is it that you didn't? How can I move on? What is it that I want to work on in me? Guys, we should always be working on ourselves. There's always an area in our lives that we can work on. Love yourself as you are doing that. Give yourself permission to know that you are enough. Give yourself permission to say no. It's okay to say no. Say no to the things that are stressing you out. Say no to the people that are trying to take so much from you that you don't even have to give. If a relationship is not serving you, you can't serve that person as well. Think about it. Talk about it. Communicate if it means something to you so that you can have a better future. Guys, take care. I hope you all have a really, really, really productive week. I hope that you will continue to love on yourself and love on others as you go through this journey called life. You Choose Radio, Viscosity Blend, Reggae Global Radio, Zion Highness Radio, and Ascension Radio. Guys, we love you. Take care and have a fantastic rest of the week. Take care.
We are out.
We are out, y'all. We are gone. We are out. Take care, y'all.